I think it's time for another experiment. But this time, we're not going to do it along the lines of like the Hokey Homebrew experiments. We're going to go way back in time, get in that time capsule, and we're going to jump back to a Sjporr experiment. And that's one where we let the gloves off. Baby. That was then, this is now. It is time. It is time. It is time to taste some beers. I think it's time for me to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Let's get to some reviews. It's time. It is time. It is time for the last edition of the 2013 Sjporr Experiment Extravaganza Beer Reviews. This one brought to you by Larmo22 and his poor old raspberry ale. This is the last one, and look at that fancy label, huh? This man spared no expenses. Let's crack into it. There we go. Nice little hiss and smoke. Oh wow, real fruity nose. Right off the bat, I am looking forward to this beer. I am definitely looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure he bottled these off of his keg. And there's still a little bit of sludge in the bottom there. Yeah, yes indeed. Still a little bit. Let's take a look at that. You know, the really cool thing about this beer is it has a bit of a purple hue to it. The head, it's not brown, it's not white. It's got a touch of like a purplish blue tint to it. I'm digging that. Carbonation, can't really tell. I mean, it's dark. I can't see through it at all. I remember his brew day on this one, and he had all sorts of things go wrong. But I tell you what, he pushed brewing to its extremes and did like several different methods in this one beer. Oh yeah, I am picking up those fresh raspberries, and that's what it is. It tastes like fresh raspberries. Oh yeah, beautiful nose, Larmo. Beautiful nose, beautiful color. I love that color. I can't get over that. The way that it affected the head. That is just beautiful. Sweet raspberry. I'm picking up just a hint of the malts in there. But if I can describe the hint of the malts is more like a light, like what a light body would taste. Very light malt, but nice upfront raspberry nose. Oh yeah, I'm really digging this. Okay, let's hope it tastes as good as it smells. Oh. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. That's the gift that keeps on giving. Starts off with the raspberry up front. Yeah. I know exactly what Kevin means now. I remember in Kevin's review, he had said that he wished that raspberry went the whole way through the beer to the very end. This beer ends up completely different than the way it starts out. It starts out with a real nice, light, if the carbonation was just a little bit higher on it, to where it actually tickled the tongue, then would kind of be like a fruity, like a fruit drink almost, kind of. Along the lines of a creek, if there was a little bit more carbonation there. Now I know a creek is typically cherry, but I think you could do that style, the same beer. So it starts off real nice with that real light raspberry. The nose, you breathe in as you take a sip of it, and the nose carries along with the beer, and you start off with that fresh raspberry, and then it kind of glides right into the dark roasted malts, into that dark chocolate thing that has been with these chocolate beers that everybody's been using. That's been a constant note. There's only been a couple guys that have been able to take that chocolate and make it steer on the silky side, but most of it's been that dry, dark chocolate flavor, and this one falls right into that same category. Wow, yeah. And then it finishes it off after a while, because the raspberry is carrying through a lot further than what I thought it was going to. But it dries off at the very end. You're stuck with that. You're not stuck. You're left with the roasted barley. You know what's funny is I'm not really picking up the oats and the wheat so much as in this one. The raspberry pretty much takes that over. Body of the beer. It's still a light-bodied beer, which is kind of amazing, as dark as that is, you know, and it's quite dark. Head sticking around, I can get the carbonation to get going again. It's still a lighter-bodied beer. It doesn't have a whole lot of, it doesn't have that mid to heavy range to it. I could sit down and drink a bunch of these. Wow, dude. You add a little bit more, try and get some more body into this, and then throw this on your nitrous system just to kind of get it to that stout feel. Try and keep the raspberries, you know, in there, make that even more prominent, and then throw the body in there. Maybe a little more roasted malt, maybe a little more oats in there, something to give it some, you know, some body in there. Then throw this on your nitrous system. That's just crazy talk right there. That's just crazy talk. Yeah. Appearance on this beer I really like, and I'm going to explain. I'm going to give it a 9 on appearance, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I can almost see through it on this glass. When I tilt it up, I get a little bit of that reddish hue, the reddish brown on the bottom of it. But I really dug the color of the head, the raspberry, that purple blue mixed in with the brown, you know, and a little bit of white gave this a beautiful head. I mean, this was by far, out of all the beers, the prettiest in appearance. The raspberry it gave it that little tinge of purple in there, which was beautiful. So, you know, that is a 9. The aroma on this, again, that I'm able to work it up a little bit. I love the aroma because you pick up the raspberries. I mean, that's the first thing, and I believe you did that as a secondary. Guys, this is something for everybody to think of. We just were down in Dogfish Head, and I got a Randall, which can give you a whole. I'm going to do a Homebrew Wednesday video on stuff you can do with that, but Larmo kind of did something like you would do with the Randall, where in the secondary he did, like, I believe, a raspberry puree. and let it set in the secondary for a little bit. So that's kind of like something you could do, something like that in a Randall, that put a little bit of a raspberry or peach puree in something, and then throw some, throw your favorite IPA in there and mix it all together, and then filter it back out. That's just crazy talk. So the aroma was real nice. I'll give that a solid 8 on the aroma. The flavor on this, I'm digging it. That's an 8.75 easy on flavor, dude. So I'll do the math up on this one as well. Well done, Larmo. I might have to adjust my score. I think this is the prettiest beer out of the whole bunch. By far, it's a nice looking beer, and I'm digging it, man. I can sit back and drink a keg of this without issue. Sad to say, this is the last beer out of the challenge, but not really, because there still are a few New Zealand beers there in the Keezer. So, but as far as the U.S. side, that was it. There will be a video coming in the next couple days or whenever of a kind of an overview of my feelings on the way the experiment went, which, guys, each and every one of you, well done. There was not a stinker in the bunch. None whatsoever. I just had some of the best beers ever. And with that said, base malt, I just drank 15 completely different beers. Something to be said for that, guys. Good job. Now, I'm out of here. Got to do some editing. Get this thing uploaded so I can move forward. This is Sjporr, enjoying the fruits of Larmo22's labor. You know why? Because that big son of a bitch can brew beer. He brews good beer. Cheers, guys.